Welcome, Loop Heroes. So, to catch you up, just defeated the Act 3 boss. I'm not going to tell you anything about that. If you want to see that, look at the previous video. But I am going to keep looping, so we're going to stay. We've got some really good loot, but I do have skulls. Interestingly, because it's Chapter 3, it's going to cost me 3 skulls to keep. So we are, but we're only gaining 2 skulls. Interesting, which is interesting. All right. So we are going to stay, and we're into planning now. So we've got some pretty juicy resources. Got some pretty juicy ones. We've just had our loot drop, so I'm going to work that out. I like my new arranging things by type strategy for working out what the hell's going on. And this is what we've got so far. We've got a 39% crit chance. And actually, it's only put a 165% damage, which doesn't seem that impressive. But actually, having this extra damage, I think, is maybe why I've done okay here. The evasion, of course, is great, and I've really avoided attack speed. In fact, I've got no attack speed there at all, which is kind of weird. But this is all mainly kind of playing around the stamina bar. If I'm evading, I don't want to be exhausted, because if I'm relying heavily on evade spam and then I can't evade at the same rate, I'm just kind of in trouble. Okay, this looks like it's just a straight upgrade for possibly for some of these. This one, so one of these is way better. So this one's got 13 additional damage on it from the magic damage, and the damage to all, which is pretty juicy. What are these axes offering me? So these are actually offering me attack speed, which I've just been railing against. This one has magic damage on it as well, and some defense. Now I think defense is actually pretty good. I still don't really know the maths behind defense, but I think it's helpful, right? But I mean, I'm always going on about how damage is king, and I actually think I prefer my existing weapons. I mean, this one must be an improvement, surely. Okay, let's have a look at this. So the attack speed I don't want. The crit damage chance is lower. The damage is a bit higher. But the crit damage chance is lower. I think I think that is would be a good replacement for the right hand one. But actually, maybe it's time to get rid of the left hand. It's kind of a bit confusing because they both got the same graphic. So that's 13 extra damage, magic damage. So yeah, maybe we do get rid of that. And the reason I'm keeping this is that I value magic damage very highly, because for a lot of enemies, the magic damage is kind of like pure additional damage. So we could replace this with this. I mean, that is a huge damage increase, isn't it? And we keep the damage upgrade. Yeah, okay, we'll do that one. And then this one here. I mean, what's our crit chance now? It's still 39%. That's reasonable. So that's a 42 to 64, but actually, really, it's a 48 to 70. This is more damage, but I really value that crit chance. So I think I'm going to keep that one. All right, that felt like a difficult one. Okay, and then we've got some armor. It's got a good chunk more max HP, but it has magic damage on it. But we lose some evasion. I think the extra max HP is significant. I think I will still take that. It's not necessarily a no-brainer. Just because there's a bigger number, it doesn't necessarily mean you want to take it. Okay, these boots do just look better, though. They've got more evasion, which we like. But the cost of a lot of damage. I mean, look at this. Magic damage 7, damage to all 12. This is adding 19 damage, of which 7 of it is pure, which is kind of good, right? But the evasion buff is pretty significant. Tricky. Interesting, I did have a comment. I'm sorry I've forgotten I only really remember people's names if I've written a note, and I plan to talk about some of it. So I made a comment about the maths. About the maths of evasion, and it was really interesting. Now, their maths didn't account for the stamina bar. But basically, the more as you get more evasion, effectively it's a boost to all of your stats. I mean, that's true of a lot of stat gains. But it was a really interesting interesting post. Yeah, and kind of lost the thread of that one. But basically, the higher proportion evasion, then the more important, the more powerful the extra evasion effect is. Obviously, the stamina bar does mess with that hypothesis, but it's, yeah. All right. So symmetry, and yeah, I have no idea how this is going to go. We just want to, we could have a symmetry fight here. We've got the friends, and we're just in it to try and do a little bit of good old-fashioned farming and see what we can do. So this is my my first chapter 3 bit of farming. Oh, another outpost. Yeah, there's where's our scarier fights? This actually looks potentially scary. Let's have a. We were having some trouble with the spiders. Let's bring them in. But as I have skulls, I'm more likely to kind of just push as hard until I die, probably. And the reasoning for that is that because I have an abundance of skulls, but I do not have an abundance really of orb of crafts, and I certainly don't have an abundance of time shards. Wow, I'm getting wrecked. So these are anti-evade enemies, the Fishman. So fills attack bar to 2/3 after missing a hit. So if I evade, they attack very quickly afterwards. So these are the nightmare for evade. In fact, they're such a nightmare that I actually think I'm gonna. Can I take action here? I actually don't think I can. Because the reed, I don't know if the reed's destructible, because river is not destructible. The only bit of river you can destroy is the bit at the end. So that's interesting. So I do need more help with this fight if I'm gonna. Maybe actually oblivioning this is gonna help. So there's no skeleton archers involved, and yeah, maybe this as well. So there's no. So it's just as simple a fight as possible with these fellas. If I had a village, that would be a good place to put it, but I don't. We'll have that there. Let's have a rock. If we had, we could have gone with spiders there, but I think the fact that is essentially a. This is basically an anti-evade enemy that I have here on this loop. So that's, again, this is something that if I'd realised that. I mean, there are a lot of things that I'm trying to juggle simultaneously here. Okay, we've got an outpost. So what other fights are scary for us? Again, oh yeah, so we've got more of these fights here. Let's add another outpost down there, and actually let's just go with this side. Actually, maybe we'll get rid of that cemetery. We're just going to be really careful, I think, on those. And river is going to run up here, so maybe actually we could have the river will turn and go along the road here. So but the trouble. Okay, peasant, you idiot. If I go next to the road, we'll make more reed, and that's exactly the fight I've just been talking about. So I'm going to actually destroy those mountains. It might take a while to get round to that. So, yeah, don't hold your breath. It might take a while to... and I might not live that long. Okay. Okay, so we've got some meadows to place. Just put them up there. Kind of uncomplicated. So, yeah, we are going to be destroying these mountains here to avoid, and then the river. I mean, I guess it all depends how many. Yeah, it just depends on how many oblivions I get. But I think there's no real rush on that. I think these are kind of incremental benefits. Obviously, they are worth doing, but So yeah, the river could just kind of go up this way. Just put some sad meadows up there. Actually, we could have a run of mountains up there too. All right, so we don't want the river to run alongside the road. Yeah, let's have some. Let's just have a bit more max HP along here. Goblin camp. Actually, that's kind of okay. Not too worried. I think Goblin camp isn't disastrous. Not disastrous. Interestingly, I could use spider cocoons to block the... Okay, maybe we could squeeze some science in here. Oh, so of course, if the river is next to the road... Oh yeah, right, so if the river is where a spider cocoon would be... Okay, yeah, so that's not going to work. Silly peasant. Yeah, so we are going to want to do some of that shenanigans. I like having this this wolf rat. Old Wolfgang the wolf rat. Really real team player. So our cap on chapter 3 is pretty high. It's something like is it 30 resources? I think it must be. Yeah, I think it is 30. Which is, yeah, that's a lot of resources. Okay, do we want more spiders? More spiders means more cards. I think we could have some spiders in this fight. I don't think that's a problem. Okay, and blood groves. Okay, let's put. We can make ourselves a hungry grove potentially. Oh yeah, let's have some help over here. I think that's reasonable. Because again, the goblins, because they go hard on the attack speed, they are pretty scary. They're a pretty scary adversary. Let's have a sad meadow in here, behind the face. we'll use my face to block view of the sad, unflowering meadow. Okay. Let's go with... I think this is fine. Okay. So yeah, we're not exactly acing it. But I'm surprised we even beat the boss, so... Yeah, so we're waiting on a couple of oblivions. Ooh. This is a rough fight. These guys hit like an absolute tank. But I also, you know, I got a few hits in me as well. Oof, 190. He's got his last strike, which is such a cool ability, but wow, 450. Just knocked off my health bar. And they drop wonderful loot. So oof, yeah, this might not be the longest post loop run you've ever seen. I think partly because of this mess up. I mean, maybe I should have just run the river. But actually, the river's not going to do much for me there, really. Let's have another sad meadow somewhere. You could do this, and we could use some gravel to make it slightly less sad. Then we have another kind of one up there. Yeah, so I think, yeah. The thing with Rogue is that because you don't pick up stuff as you're looping round, it does often feel like this. Because you do get this big buff. I should just do that. That's why I think of it. Because all of a sudden you get all your next level gear. So it is really even harder to gauge where you're at. You know, have you gained the gear that you need to succeed on the next loop? We're actually one time shard away from getting one of these. I don't think I've ever got one of the big resources from here. Not ever. We'll see if this is the rub where I actually do gain that. I mean, these are actually, you can get the rare resource, the kind of agglomerated big resource. You can get them in the demo if you farm the Lich enough. Okay, so outpost, lovely. That'll help. That'll help with these little flippers. No Oblivion. Almost, if I did gain an Oblivion, I would be tempted to just use it on those goblins. Because they're pretty nasty. Okay, no useful cards there. River. Yeah, these guys are... My stamina bar is just about holding up, but... Oof, the crit there coming in. Coming to the rescue. Are these guys not getting paid because they're dead? Well, they're not getting paid because I'm rogue, I guess. Weird that they're not getting paid. I mean, I don't know if that's how it intended functionality. Okay, where am I? Okay, so I'm getting close to the heal. And I've got an Oblivion. Okay, so we could start with this river extension. Does feel like it's not necessarily that important. Well, actually, that fight wasn't too bad, so maybe I will continue with my my folly-based plans, and we've got the Oblivion back. And actually, the more I think about this, the more pointless it seems. You know, sometimes you've just gotta do your plan. Let's get a bit more gravel going. I mean, yeah. What was I thinking? I don't know. I was thinking something or other. Another. Let's get that out. Yeah, this Grove combo is wonderful. Okay, so this one more rough fight, and then we are there. Oh, actually, it really is a rough fight. It really is a rough one. Oh, but we've got our friends. We've got our crossbow friends. I went pretty hard on upgrading. Pretty damn hard. Okay. There it is. That's my first ever Astral Orb. I am pretty hyped about that. They've just not shown up. Now, we are about to get to here, so if I'm going to buff my max HP, now is really the time to do it. So I think I will. This river's not really doing much for anyone. I suppose, yeah, I'm just going to do this now, I think, and just get these little buffs going. Yeah, may as well just do that as well. And because a lot of these things are actually percentage, I know that the numbers, they show just kind of actual numbers. I'm going to stay. So I'm going to keep going till I die. Alright. Because they show actual numbers, it's not necessarily obvious that they're percentages. And because they're percentages, it means that they really do add, you know, I think they kind of have a, I don't know what the mathematical term is, but they grow. Good maths, peasant. Good terminology. Okay. So our crit damage is 39% now, which is pretty good. We could get some evasion. Our magic damage is what, 16? That's not a lot of magic damage. That's quite precious. But this Dirk here has quite a lot of extra damage on it and some evasion. We will lose some crit damage chance. That's the only thing that adds to our evasion. It also adds counter. Could do with a bit of counter. The damage is very significant though. So I think I'm going to replace the Quatar. Let's have a look at the other things quickly. So none of these have magic damage. So let's just do first decision. We'll break it up. And then we've got 46 to 69 with a bit of damage to all. So they're going to have to do something impressive because that polearm's got magic damage. So it's actually a 61 to 86 with the magic damage. So I think that's a keeper. Alright, moving on to footwear. So an evasion decrease, 24 magic damage. I think I take it. Though my evasion is at 50% now, which is pretty good. But that's a huge buff to my magic damage. That's some serious shoes. And it's not a I mean, it's hard. It's not even a big debuff to my evasion. Sorry, to my... Oh, actually, these shoes are pretty amazing. They are 33% evasion. Okay, so it would be... I'd lose 11% evasion, but that magic damage I think is super significant. Okay, and then we've got our armor and amulet considerations. So our current armor, what does that do? It has got crit damage on it. We don't really care about attack speed so much. This has magic damage on it, and so counter I think is more valuable to us. I mean, but the trouble with counter is it also is going to eat our stamina bar. So I think I'm going to go with one that's going to give me defense is actually also pretty valuable. So the one that gives me evasion, yeah, the one that gives me most evasion is probably most tempting. Is that this one? No. Evasion without counter. So this one is evasion without counter and it's defense, but we're losing our crit damage chance. This is not that clear cut in my mind because the damage chance is important. So the max HP is kind of useful, but I don't think it's that important. This is a big magic damage buff as well, and it's an evasion buff. I think I'm going to take this one. We do have a little bit of vampirism because we're tea leaves, so that's how that works. And then we've got this, which has more magic HP. It's an attack speed, which we're not so into, and we would gain a little bit of evasion. Yeah, I think so. I think so. I hope so. Okay. So the map is looking pretty full now. Do we have any actual spaces? So we've got no basic landscape spaces. We've got some road spaces. We actually do want to farm wood. So I am going to add some groves about the place because we do gain, I think, a little bit of wood. Oh god, there's all these fights. But we've got our friends there. Let's have some more spiders. We can't actually dilute those fights, unfortunately. You know, live and learn. Yeah, I think this is fine. Feels weird to not have vampires. So we have... Oh, actually, we could be adding cemeteries, especially as we have so much magic damage. So I'm going to do that next. Now, the cemeteries do have these ranged guys, which is a wrinkle. Okay, so there we see our stamina bar has been depleted. So we've got minus 50% evade and minus 27% attack speed. So it's pretty brutal. Yeah. And I think if we're lucky, we might even get to see what happens if the orange bar is depleted. If we're very lucky. Okay, there's an Oblivion, which does open us up some options. There's Grove, and we're collecting wood, like good little peasants. So yeah, so I don't want to put groves in there. Oh, and the idea of having cemeteries as well. The fact that they've now got archers is disconcerting. But I think we could do cemeteries. Yeah, I don't want to make these fights any tougher than they are, so I'm not going to add anything to those tiles. But maybe we could add to these tiles because we are just purely farming now, and we could Oblivion something. maybe the goblins are worth oblivioning. We're also getting towards the late game, so essentially a lot of... Yeah, let's get rid of the goblins. A lot of... Where am I going with this? We will be gaining a lot of cards, so you kind of... You're more kind of forced to use them before they just kind of disappear. Disappear forever. Okay, so... Let's have some more. So many outposts, and yeah, the ruins. I think I do have to be careful with ruins, though they do give you a random resource. But not exactly invincible. Okay, yeah, I think we keep placing outposts. Oh yeah, so lots of spaces for outposts here. Would be nice to get some help with this. Yeah, let's have help. Outposts everywhere, and they're not even paying me. What the hell was that noise? Confusion, 30% chance to be idle for 3 seconds after an ally dies. Oh, I feel bad about that. You know, every so often you remember that you're just going around. Wow, slime, rare and beautiful slime. Every so often I remember that I'm just walking around in a loop, murdering people constantly. That's a pause for reflection. Ooh, Bloodgrove. I almost think that oblivioning this outpost and putting a Bloodgrove in there would be better to help with these guys. Yeah, we're looking good. We're on loop 13. We're looking okay. It has at times felt a bit shady. Just do this now. It has felt shady. I mean, these are dangerous enemies, horrifying, and they guarantee to hit as well before they die, which is super cool, but also kind of horrifying. Evasion 48% is obviously nice for that. Nice for this. So we're going to put more spiders out. This flippin' guy. Going to put some more spiders out. Can we dilute any horrible fights? Actually, yeah, let's put some spiders in there and in there. And we have some spiders there. We do have Bloodgrove opportunities, so actually, where's covered? We actually could add. We could actually cover more of the path with blood. Oh yeah, that is good. Of course, we are in danger of making a kind of a nemesis for ourselves, but that's always the danger. Yeah, so no oblivions. So I could pretty much ignore this unless an oblivion shows up, because I can't place any of those things, apart from the spiders. Yeah. Okay. More outposts. And we're getting some good farming going here. Oh yeah, let's have an outpost here to help with this blood beast. Yeah. Yeah, nothing we can do with that lot. Well, that's a lot of enemies. But we're doing quite a lot of damage. We've only got 10% crits now, though, which is pretty sad. It's a sad number of crits. We're running out of spaces for these outposts now. Let's go with this. Oh, we actually got an Oblivion. Could have possibly placed things a bit better there. I'm going to Oblivion this. And I'm going to place a Grove. and a Blood Grove. Now that might actually just make the fight harder. We did get our Oblivion back. But the reasoning is there, we'll get the help from the actual Blood Grove. And maybe that's bad reasoning. Let's Oblivion there to make it into a Hungry Grove. Even though I do want to get some more, pick up some wood on this trip. We're actually near our cap anyway, so no need to place any more groves for that reason. I think if any fight just goes a little bit wrong, I think that's it. Because we've got a pretty decent amount of max HP. And this is kind of an enemy that's horrible because it does undermine my evade. So yeah, that's another thing. I probably wouldn't use Watchers, or I'd use Vampires to scare away Watchers in key fights, because they do make it a bit harder. But yeah, so we're at our cap now on wood. And okay, oh, we've got an outpost we could place and a cemetery we could place. Yeah, not too many spots now. I wonder if any of these are adjacent to clear road. Is there any clear road? Well, that's kind of scary. But the trouble is that these are reeds here. They're all sitting on the bridge. So I actually can't. I've got no way of ever placing an outpost there. So that's a bit worrying. Could be where I die. Let's put there. We'll just gonna put things around just for the sake of it now. Just for the sake of it. Oh yeah. No point adding groves. I don't think. Well, actually, no. There is a kind of point, but don't want to get too into the weeds on these runs. I think if I really min-max these kinds of post-boss loops, these would be very, very long videos. Very long. They're long enough already. Okay. Okay. See, we're getting this rare resource, which is making me happy. Very happy. So it looks like those goblins have actually got a debuff on Chapter 3, which is odd. I don't know what the source is. It might be obvious to some of you that are watching, but to me, it is not. So it's become a cracked skeleton. Good old magic HP. Okay. No, nothing new there. Okay. So ruins are something we can place on the road. I mean, are we getting to the point now where we just add whatever? Oh, there's an Oblivion. Dog there is a Roughhausen. Ain't you, dog? Not really sure what's worth Oblivioning here and what's not. I mean, this is about as good a this is as good a help as we're going to get. Yeah, nothing springs to mind. Okay, well, we could retreat. Look at that, Astral Orb. But I am going to stay. Yeah, I'm going to commit to spending my skulls, basically. Okay, so these are the new things. We've got one pair of new shoes. It's got 32% evasion. That's a lot of evasion you got there, mister. But we lose 24 magic damage. But we've actually got a lot of magic damage. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with those shoes. Then we've got a couple of weapons to compare. So, critical damage. Okay, so this has got 11 magic damage and 17 damage. Also, that's an extra 28 on top, which puts it up to 110 max, which is a good deal more. So it's just more damage, and damage is king. It really is the king. So I think we're going to replace the pole arm. This year's pole arm is attack speed, which we're not as into, and then this is attack speed and 54 damage. So it's actually a little bit less damage. I mean, the attack speed is more damage, but I'm deliberately steering away from attack speed. And then we've got the amulet, which is less evasion, but not much less. And this one here is crit chance. Now, crit chance I'm pretty keen on. I'm not so keen on having counter, even though we do have 26% counter somehow. Was that from these shoes? Where all this limited counter coming from? I think I'm going to go with this one for the chance and the damage. So we're going to lose some defense and some evasion. But the crit chance I think is important. I think my limited experience with Rogue is suggests to me that crit chance is just, pretty great. I'm not really sure what I want to Oblivion. Oh, we could Oblivion this Goblin Village. Could try and do that when the day crosses over. Yeah, let's try and time it so it's when the day crosses over. In theory, this should be a horrible fight for me, because they get those super quick attacks on me. But maybe I'm doing okay. Okay, so hopefully Day will switch over and I'll get to have a Dark Slime for destroying this Goblin Village. Oh, except the land was already full, so they're not summoning. And I did promise to destroy this, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna tease you. Yeah, we'll destroy that. That's good old-fashioned spiders. And we're at cap on wood. Ooh, a skill. Smokescreen. After losing 20% of max HP in battle, you'll evade all attacks 2 seconds. Max HP is increased by 1 for each trophy you have. Well, this feels like it's a good one for going the distance on the loop. And second thoughts, I think yeah, let's go with Old Scars. So our max HP should just be bumping up all the time now. Yeah, it is bumping up all the time. So those spider fights are pretty useful things to have. I might even add in some grove fights as well. Just any little fight is going to be a bonus. Yeah, apart from here. Actually, no, I think it's fine. No, if we'll add one over there. Because the wood doesn't matter because we're at cap, but extra max HP is, if this is going to be a really long loop, that's how we're going to do it. Okay. And because we've got all our flower business going, we wrap it, that max HP very quickly becomes extra HP. Could add some more cemeteries. Do you have a spot for a blood grove? We'll take it. That's our last blood grove spot for now, and then we've got a few cemetery spots. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's just fine. And spider spot as well. I think the only one of these things that I'm now worried about just placing willy-nilly are the ruins. Because they affect... These are annoying, but they don't seem to be that big a deal. Not that big a deal, apparently. There's the Oblivion. I don't know if I have a strong feeling about what to use that on. And we've got rid of the Goblin villages. We can't really do anything about the fishmen. Okay. I mean, we could maybe stick a few more temporal beacons about the place, so that we heal with our flowers a bit more frequently. But yeah, the fact we've got these orb of evolutions, we've got so many of them now. But it's interesting, I think you get 2 skulls for killing whichever boss you're on. So maybe the whole lich farming thing is going to be a thing, and actually you might want to do that to get the stuff you need. Okay, it's looking reasonable. Yeah, that magic HP is doing a lot of work for us. I gotta love that magic HP. And maybe this is the this is the by far the furthest I've got in chapter 3 at this stage. Okay, and we've still got some cemetery spots. Let's go there. That seems reasonable. So I think we've only got spaces on the road now. And yeah, I don't think I think at this point, kind of fine-tuning it too precisely, probably not going to make for the best content. So I think I'm just going to sit back, relax, have a little stretch. Whoa. Have a little stretch. So yeah, while I'm stretching, if you have any questions or particularly questions about the game, feel free to drop them in the comments, and I'll try and answer them. And also, if you know the answer to a question that's in the comments, feel free to answer it. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with filling in and seeing where we get to. And there is a wiki as well. I probably should add it to my description, actually. Let's actually gonna make a note. It's gonna go hands-free on this for a second. Yeah, nothing to add. I'm just gonna make a note on this bit of cardboard to add the wiki, because it's pretty new and it's going to be pretty great to have that as a resource. So yeah, we're not exactly acing it, but we're doing too badly either. Oh, look at these astral orbs. I probably at some point am going to have to farm these. Yeah, I probably am going to have to farm them. They seem to be, for me anyway, but it could just be that the things that I favour, the things that I choose, typically don't drop a lot of this. But I don't think there's anything in the demo that drops this either. Or the kind of the smaller components. Or maybe dark slimes do, but they're not really farmable, right? Because whenever you make a dark slime, you get a dark slime. They don't seem to recur. There was at some point, I think some people were saying that they do recur. So if you do get a dark slime, it would keep coming back, but that's not been my experience. Okay. And there's this lightning stuff happening, and I just don't know if that's doing a lot for me or not. I just don't know. It's just not a known question. Okay, so we are taking, we are taking some damage here, but well, we've just got to the end of the loop. We're healed at almost full. We've got 4. I think this is good. We keep going. And now we have to think about our weapons again. Living Nightmare. Okay, it's not so bad. Okay, we could have, we could buff our evasion and our crit damage chance. 64 to 96 this is great. If we replace the Dirk, I think that's just better. We lose. Oh, yeah. I think we replace the Dirk for the damage chance and a bit more evasion and more damage. Yeah, that's a straightforward one. Okay. And then we have amulets. So our current amulet is giving us chance, which I care about. We really don't want counter. This has got evasion and a little bit less chance. a little bit more magic HP, and some counter. I don't really want counter. So I think we keep what we've got. And then footwear considerations. 28% evasion. We don't really want counter. It's actually 35% evasion. Fairly ambivalent about those. This is defense though. And it will remove that attack speed. So I think I will go... Oh wait, let's just double check that. Yeah, this is 31 evasion versus 32. And it's going to gain us some defense. And remove some of our attack speed, which I think is what we want. I think that's what I want. Okay, we've got an Oblivion now, so we could stick an outpost somewhere if we wanted to do that. Maybe we could have an outpost here. Maybe. I think these fights with the blood golems are actually our scarier fights right now. So we'll put an outpost in there. Oh, these ones too, but it's not. I'm pretty sure I've checked. There's not a lot I can do. I've already done what I can do to improve those chances. I've already done it. Okay, so we're at cap. We're at cap for a few things. We're even at cap, getting towards cap for food. Yeah, but it's getting harder. Oh, look at that! 2 of these. Oh my god! I might finally be able to get the what's it called? The suburbs. Saying that I've been envious of people that have done a lot of lich killing in the demo have unlocked suburbs, and it seems like a pretty cool card. Pretty damn cool. Okay. So I think maybe what I'm going to be doing for the rest of this run is just replacing, just adding more and more of these helpers, more and more guard towers. But I'd be surprised if I've got another loop. Yeah. Especially as I can't just equip items as I go. But hey, I'll be optimistic. I'll press the magic button. The thing is though that if you have an easy fight, you can basically heal in it effectively. He says, dying in. I'm going to die in what I thought was an easy fight now, aren't I? Yeah, and I think if I had more temporal beacons, that would be nice. It's a shame for the rogue that the temporal beacons, the enemies from the beacons reduce the evade. But I suppose if I then went temporal beacons and vampires, I could add vampires to prevent the watchers showing up. That could work. Oof. This could be it. Killed by a dog. Oh no, still in it. Oh. Yeah, here we go. Come on. We can just squeeze out a few last resources. Oh yeah, this is going to be a rough one. Okay, that's our magic HP gone. I think he's going to... Is the blood golem going to kill us on its dying blow? It might do. It's the blow that it can't miss. Oh no, did somehow get through that one. Yeah, and our map is full now. Oh, is it? Wait. We do still have a few cemetery spots. So I'm lying to you as usual. I mean, no right to be alive, really. But yeah, this is a particularly horrible enemy. And that's me dead. So, I could keep this. Interestingly, I do have one of these, but these astral orbs are so valuable to me that I am definitely going to spend the 3 skulls here. So we will be net down a skull. It does seem to cost the number of skulls equal to the chapter to do this, but that astral orb is pretty valuable to me. Anyway, I'm going to retreat, and I'm going to say... Ooh, let's get rid of my face. What happened? Why the shocked face? Because it was nearly torn off. I still don't quite get how I've ended up victorious. There. I think you're underestimating yourself. No, I'm serious. That hunter, he had black holes as hounds. I think they can swallow whole planets. And a hunter's weapon. The stars went out behind me after every shot. With all that power, he could destroy an entire galaxy. I'm sure he has already done so a few times. I don't understand how I could be a match to fight him. And I'm afraid I'm realizing it's true for both the Lich and the Priestess as well. The Priestess, that's what she's called. Oh no! Don't tell me this encounter has broken you. Look, this place is becoming better. We mustn't give up. What are you talking about? It's quite the opposite. I'm fully confident that we will succeed. It's not just a coincidence. I have the power to fight this evil, and I have a chance to beat it. A chance to beat it, huh? Well, guess the luck is on your side, huh? Okay. Okay, so... Look at this. Astral orbs, that's pretty exciting. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up on that one. So yeah, thanks so much for joining me. I've been Peasant. Like the video if you liked the video, and see you on the next loop. Catch you on the next loop.